What is up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, for being subscribed. If you're not, hit that button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like button. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this reality chat. I want to share this. This is courtesy of the YouTube channel, What's Happening. I will have a link to the full video in the description box. But I wanted to share this because recently, Carlos King, he just started his live podcast tour, and his first stop was in Huntsville, Alabama, and his special guest was melodyshari Rogers. And I love that he is starting it off with, I feel like, who he started off his solo, shall we say, reality producing and executive producing and all of that stuff career with, and that is Melody and Love and Marriage Huntsville. And honestly, if it was not for Melody, I don't really know if he would have done all of the other shows that he has done after leaving Bravo. But we know he still spends a lot of time talking about those housewives and and interviewing all of these other people. But anyway, I was glad to see that. Now, I didn't hear about it until recently, honestly, until it was about to happen, but I wouldn't have been there anyway. But I just think that it was a great thing for him to start it off with her. I just feel that that was much given respect. And the reason I say that is because when he did his first real big interview of somebody else, and that was Nene Leakes, which we know that video garnered a lot of views. He discussed doing like a tour, something like this with Nene. And while I thought that it was cool when I heard him talking about it, I thought, well, I mean, I think that's cool and I get it. But I feel like you should maybe do something like that and start it off with the people that you are working with solo, not doing it with people that are either people that you used to work with on shows that they used to be on Bravo, because it just makes him look really thirsty. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with him giving commentary about all of these other shows and stuff like he is currently doing. Everybody has the right to speak their mind or give their opinions or whatever. I don't have an issue with that, but it just looked weird when it seems like he was really focusing most of his time on all of those other platforms and shows than his own. Okay, so with that being said, I want to play this because she was talking to Carlos, and when I listened to it, it just really made me feel even more understanding of why people do relate to her so much, and even the supporters of her, like diehard supporters that call themselves Mellometers. It's like I kind of understand why these people have, gotten to the point where they call themselves that. I don't, but I still resonate and empathize with her. But I'm going to talk a little bit more about that after I play this clip.
Well, he got that right. The Queen of Huntsville, Miss melodyshari Rogers. But you guys, I'm going to go ahead and let you listen to a little bit of some of the conversation that occurred. Shout out to one of the Mellometers who shared this information. But take a listen to what Carlos King had to say about martellholt and the lies that he told about the scene between him and Melody. They also talked about Martell's arrest and more. Take a listen.
Okay, nor did I say get flowers from the grocery section. Nor did I
pissing me off. I'm gonna tell you why. You can say what you want about me. One thing about me, I'm the child of God, so I only care about what the men I serve think about me, right? But don't do that to the integrity of my production, because my producers leave their hometown, their family, their kids to come to Huntsville to make sure that this cast has a great show. So don't do that to me, nor my production. And more importantly, don't do that to the cast. Okay, I'm not Tyler Perry, Shonda Rhimes, David Duchovny, Will Packer. You know what I mean? I don't have, this is no shade to me, I don't have the mental intelligence to create something out of thin air and say, hey, Melody, so when you go in there, girl, you're going to say this, you're going to say, I got coins to bake, not prints to bake, honey. Yes! I'm not that bright. When it comes to that, I follow the reality. So that was disgusting to me because it's not true. And I was disappointed because there's history here. Like, the reason why we have a Love and Marriage Huntsville is because they came to me wanting to do a show. And then collectively, we talked about what it could be. So there is history there. And I'm going to be very honest, my heart was broken because it's one thing for you to be mad that at that time is how you felt. Don't throw me into the mix. And don't do it to the point where now you're having people question my integrity. Right?
All right, I want to pause it right there for a moment. I just feel that it's so hypocritical for him to sit there to say how his heart was broken and how his feelings were hurt when he said these lies, meaning Hotel, about this is a production where they're acting and they're actors and the scene wasn't real and all of this other stuff. And he threw Carlos under the bus because he was pissed because he looked like a simp. He looked like the chump that he is, and got mad that they didn't edit that out. And we all got to see how Melody shot him down. Melody told him there is no forgiveness. There is no moving forward with him. And the reason she said those things is because she knows that he has not changed. There has been no repentance, and he continues to do that. But this man has lied so much. Like, why did Carlos think that he would be any different? You know? So for him to be hurt and disgusted and upset and heartbroken because of what he said about him, but he did so many horrible things to his ex-wife and the mother of his 4 beautiful children, like he loves to say. But that's all fun and games and entertainment for the public, and it gets the ratings for you, right? I'm just saying.
Okay, hold on, baby girl. I'm speaking. Okay. So then I did speak to Melody. I mean, because I missed something, and the thing for me more so was it just wasn't true. Like, it was true, I'll say, okay, but it just wasn't true. So when you saw that, what went through your mind? Because, again, I said this earlier, you take the show very seriously. And there's no acting on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Now, these other reality shows, child, Go ahead, boo.
My reaction was, y'all ready? You gotta go.
next 10 seasons to come. I'm going to put that out there. Is for us to have not only a cast, but also the production piece of it that really wants to see us getting back to business. And then we don't have drama here and there. Y'all know we have to have that reality with reality TV. But I think at the heart of it, we both agree, like, we got to get back to the business. And with that, sometimes comes tough decisions. And I shared with Carlos, I said, Carlos, and you correct me if I'm wrong, I said, you pray. I said, and what you do when you pray, you sit back and you wait and let God show you and give you the answer. And I noticed two things happened back to back right after that. That's all I'm saying. Okay, now Carlos told I know you lying. I know you lying. Ain't okay. I got it. Something else that came out was the arrest of your ex-husband. Okay.
No coincidence there that people are cheering when the mention of Holtell's arrest comes up, because honestly, it is something to celebrate.
So your ex-husband was recently arrested. Where were you? I'm happy New Year, Lord Jesus. Where were you when you found that out? I was actually at home preparing for a scene for your show. She really was. I was at home getting glammed up for a scene. I understand everyone's feeling of somewhat of like the vindication, right? And just the it's about time. And for me, believe it or not, while I'm there too, it also wasn't a matter that was fun for me. It was not, I wasn't at home cheering and laughing and like, oh, yay. No, I wasn't. And Lauren is here. She was at the house with me doing my makeup, and she can attest to this. I was actually, for one, I was wondering about my children. Let's keep it above. Any mama out there knows. That's the first thing. It's like, where my kids at though? Like, how are my kids? Where are they? And not to cut you off, she's telling the truth. I called her to check in on her, and she was frazzled. And she said, Carlos, thank you for calling and checking on me, but I'm worried about my kids. I need to find my kids. Go ahead. Yeah, absolutely. And so, I will say that, and my brother says this about me too, because he's like, I bet if he had came to you and apologized, knowing you and how your heart is, you probably would have forgave him and never even filed a sign the warrant. And you may be a little right. But maybe not. But what I will say is, anytime you have to go through with making such a tough decision that impacts your children as well, that's always tough. That's always tough. But I think there had been just so many transgressions, one after the other, after the other, after the other. And no matter how many times I sat back at times and tried to keep my mouth closed and see, you think about say nothing to die down, then leave me alone, just please leave me alone. But I also have a breaking point too, where I'm like, okay, they ain't leaving me the hell alone. And so, I did say that. And so, when I made that decision, it was that
do you want a warrant? I said, yes, I do. He said, all right, I'm about to go get you a warrant. That was August. Somebody said it should have been for both of them. Let me tell you why that part for that doesn't work for both parties, because it's based on legally wise is another piece, but the lawsuit wise is another piece. The warrant, the direct piece has to come from exactly from that person. So the source, right? And so after that, when I filed it and said sign it and it was signed, I'll be honest with y'all. My attorney said to me, hey, listen, you know his address. All we got to do is get a PI, make the call, and tell him when he's home, they go pick him up. Me being me, I said I believe in divine timing. I'm not doing all of that. Now, I've done myself. I'm going to let God do the other one whenever he says so. So, I sat around all those months wondering, I know it's out there though, but I mean, they flying and stuff, but I mean, I don't know, but it's out there. And lo and behold, Carlos, after talking to you about prayer and letting God show you. And it wasn't me. I didn't make a call. You know, if you have a warrant and you go to certain places trying to get certain things, that pops up. And that's what happened.
I know we're all like laughing and joking, we're having a good time, and I do love that. But I really want the world to know how deep this is for you, because at the end of the day, Melody, this is a man who proposed to you on your college graduation day. You have 4 kids by this man, and
Pausing it right there for a moment. Proposed to her on her college graduation day. That nigga knew that his aspirations in life were to be a succubus and to be a hanger-on, because honestly, just like Marceau in a way, because isn't it kind of similar with Marceau and Tisha? Not saying that he needed Tisha for her brains, but he definitely needed her body and her, her presence to be able to be the one to hold down the fort while he's out there working and doing whatever he wants to do. These people like Marceau and Hotel, they didn't get with these women for love. They got with them because they're users. So I just wanted to just stop that for a moment and speak on that.
And obviously, you were madly in love. You guys were a power couple. You guys were a power couple in the city. You guys built this foundation, and your kids are wonderful. Did you ever think, Melody, in a million years, that your life would end up this way, to where you would even have to do that to somebody who's a father of your kids? Like, were there moments like,
Never would have imagined that, but I will say along the way the telltale signs became present. And especially hindsight is everything, right? So sometimes when you get out of a situation, you're able to reflect and see clearly maybe the things you missed or that you overlooked or you didn't pay attention to. And so when I look back at it now and see how he handled other situations with other people, the lack of maturity, just the inability to just be a full-blown man, where it's like, we didn't work out, but you know what, I'm going to leave her alone because I messed up. It is what it is, right? Let me just leave her alone. I never thought that I would be wishing that I had my children by somebody else. And that's where I am. And I shared that, with my family, like, dang, why ain't I need to use by somebody else? Because it just keeps going. It's just going and it's just going. And it's like, when is enough enough? And when do we stop funding the madness? That's the other concern. Like, when do we stop funding the madness? When is, I've been doing this interview with you, Carlos, but I'm going to keep it a buck. I don't remember the last time I sat down and even did an interview. Like, real talk. So I film for the show, but I'm not out here thinking of ways to degrade people and behind the scene made sure security was there. So I appreciate you.
No, you're welcome. Yeah, the thing is this. I always want to make sure that anybody who's associated with the kingdom feels safe. And that feels and looks differently for every person, right? And that's the reason why, again, you and I have personal conversations. And the one thing that you're a very strong woman, right? And you have this strength that is just so magnificent that I sometimes wonder, like, where did she get it from?
So I'm going to stop.
All right, so there's that. But listen, I wasn't there. I listened to it. I heard the exasperation in her voice with, like, when she said, when is enough enough? When are we going to stop funding the madness? And I feel like that is in a number of ways saying, how much more is it going to take for us to remove this toxicity from this platform, meaning her ex-husband? Because the mere fact that she said, I have told my family at times that I really wish that I had my children with somebody else. Like, because that's saying how she still has to be attached to this creature because of the children. Because had it not been for that, like she said, I don't sit and do interviews talking about him. I do the show, but I'm not sitting and doing interviews talking about him, bashing him, going in on him, talking about the past, the present, or even, the future. I'm just focusing on me. And here he is, in his tight hoodie and pants and sneakers and all black, going to do a sit-down interview with Tasha Kate. Like, he strategically timed that to happen around that time because he wanted to try to take the focus off of Melody, and this interview will probably be dropping any day now. And again, he's still going to be talking about her. Like she said, I don't even talk about him. I'm living my life. And so, to talk about this mellometers, trauma bonding thing, I wanted to just discuss that for a moment. Not everyone that is a supporter of Melody or is an admirer of Melody is trauma bonding. And I'm going to speak for myself. I can't speak for everyone else, but the reason why I'm talking about it is because I am speaking for myself. I am a supporter. I am someone that wishes her well. I am someone that roots for her to succeed and celebrate the successes and see that she is a survivor and thriving, not just existing, but living a very, very healthy, prosperous life, which is a blessing. Because when I look back to when she was still in this marriage with him and look to her now, I can see the difference in the glow. Like like that term glow up, she literally has glowed up. And because she didn't even really, she didn't look terrible. I'm not saying she looked anorexic or bulimic or anything like that back then, but to see how she is having, like, wearing her healthy weight well, I'm just being honest. She did not even look as well back then. If you put the two side-by-side comparisons of her back then to now, she looks happy, healthy, prosperous, and she literally is glowing. Back then, she looked like she was just existing. And I love that for her now. But I can say that I am definitely not trauma bonding because I have never been in a situation like she has ever been in. I've never been in a relationship with a man like the one that she was in a relationship with and married to and had 4 children with and had to divorce him and is still having to deal with him in her career, in a part of her career at least. I've never experienced anything like that. I've never been in a relationship with a narcissist. I thank God that I have never been in a situation like she has been. So to see someone in real time going through something that really looks unreal, I believe that is one of the reasons why so many women, more mainly, do connect with her, and some have titled themselves millimeters. I don't have a problem with people who've done that. I just don't. But I will say that I understand, and not everyone that is a supporter of hers is a trauma bonder or is trauma bonding. I feel that that term has definitely been overused, just like the term narcissist has been overused. I can definitely say that I am not a psychologist, a therapist, a psychiatrist. Definitely, I never have been. But I do believe that he exhibits the majority of the signs, if not all of them, of a narcissist. I don't overuse that term on everybody that has a nasty attitude or is selfish or whatever. Some people are just selfish. Some people just have a nasty attitude. Not everyone is a narcissist. But this man, this monster, he definitely is a narcissist. It's dangerous. It really is. It's honestly unreal to see this going down. And the fact that she existed in that space with him for all of those years, she really was just existing. She wasn't living. She was trying to. And I don't care what anybody says. All of those people should be thankful for her for this opportunity, even Hotel. Because even though Carlos wants to try to give him credit by saying, you both brought this to me. You both came to me. He was just there. This was Melody's idea. Flat out, period. He wants to try to take the credit to say, well, I asked her what she wanted to do, and she said she wanted to be on TV, and I said, okay, I'm going to make it happen. Nigga, please. You did not have any power, strength, or brains to make it happen. He was just there. And Melody was definitely the type of person that was just trying her best to not just go along to get along, but to bring him along to get along. Doing the work while allowing him to be there and take a lot of the credit. It was just absolutely ridiculous. But no, not everyone that is a supporter of hers is trauma bonding. And I'm glad to hear that she was able to discuss the protection, the times where she just felt like she was being attacked, and how she was just in a place of feeling so much in despair from having to make the decision and put her foot down to say, you know what, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and press charges. I'm going to get that warrant for his arrest. And no, I'm not sitting here. She didn't cheer and celebrate it happening. But we who are the viewers of it, yeah, we're doing it. But I can understand her not cheering and celebrating it because it is still the father of her children, and these things affect the children. And that's the thing. She is the only parent that's doing that. This clown, he doesn't consider the children in anything that he does. It's really sickening. It's disgusting. It's filthy. It's abhorrent. It is honestly like psychological abuse. Does he feel that those children are going to be little ones forever? They're growing up. And they're going to look back and they're going to see how their dad treated their mom and even treated them. And then they're going to start making some of their own decisions about who they choose to be around. And he better not be surprised when they distance themselves from him. It's going to happen. I'm not a psychic. I'm not a prophet. But I definitely feel and predict that they definitely will be distancing themselves from him, and it will have nothing to do with anything that their mom said or did. It's all going to be because of his actions and what he said and did. So I just wanted to talk about that, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I just wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.